Have you ever thought about how strange it is that we assign personality to numbers? It's one of those things you don't really notice until you start thinking about it. Like, why does 7 feel mysterious or even lucky to so many people? And why does 13 have this bad reputation like it's cursed or something? They're just numbers, right? Yet, somehow they feel like so much more. Take the number 1, for example. It's the symbol of being first, being the best. It feels strong, confident, maybe even a little bit proud. When you think about it, we're always told to strive for number 1, but why not number 2? It's just as important, but it doesn't get the same spotlight. 2 has this vibe of balance, partnership, like it's the friendlier, more cooperative sibling to number 1. Then there's 3, which always seems to pop up everywhere. Fairy tales, religion, even jokes. It's like the magic number. Good things come in threes, people say. There's something about it that feels complete, like a triangle where everything fits just right. 4, on the other hand, feels solid and dependable. It's the number of stability, like the 4 legs of a table, not flashy but essential. But then you hit 5 and it's a bit of a wild card. It feels playful, a little chaotic, like it doesn't care about structure or rules. Maybe that's why it's so common in music, with things like the 5-note pentatonic scale. It's a number that can't sit still, always moving, always changing. 7, though. 7 has this almost mystical energy. It's tied to so many things: 7 continents, 7 wonders of the world, 7 days in a week. It feels like the thinker of the numbers, the one that's always searching for deeper meaning. And then you've got unlucky 13, the number everyone seems to avoid. Some buildings even skip the 13th floor as if pretending it doesn't exist will somehow keep bad luck away. It's funny how much power we give to that superstition. And it's not just individual numbers that have these personalities. Certain combinations carry their own weight, too. Take 911, everyone knows what that means in an emergency context. Or 24/7, which feels like the symbol of constant availability in our fast-paced world. Somehow we've woven numbers into our culture so deeply that they're not just tools for counting anymore. They're part of the stories we tell and the ways we see the world. There's also something about how numbers feel in different contexts. $100 feels like a nice round number, like you've achieved something. But add one more zero, and 1,000 feels massive, almost out of reach. And yet numbers like infinity just break the brain entirely, so big and abstract that they feel less like a number and more like a concept. I wonder if this connection we have with numbers is just human nature. We love to categorize things, to assign meaning to the world around us. Maybe giving numbers personalities is our way of making them less cold and mathematical, more relatable. Or maybe it's because we see patterns everywhere. Humans are wired to notice connections, and once we spot one, we can't unsee it. What's funny is that these feelings about numbers aren't universal. Different cultures have completely different takes. In China, 8 is seen as incredibly lucky because the word for it sounds like prosperity. Meanwhile, 4 is considered unlucky because it sounds like death. It's wild how much meaning we attach to these symbols, and how those meanings can change depending on where you are in the world. I guess what I'm saying is that numbers are more than just tools for math. They're part of how we interpret life, how we find meaning in the everyday. So the next time you catch yourself saying you have a lucky number or avoiding a certain date, maybe think about why. Are you buying into an old superstition, or is there something deeper at play?